Heading into the NBA season, the Phoenix Suns were expected to either win the championship or consider the season a failure. This expectation was fueled by the acquisition of an aging superstar, Kevin Durant, for whom they traded multiple first-round picks when he was 34 years old and still under a substantial contract. This move came on the heels of the Suns' disappointment in the prior season, where they were embarrassed on their home court in Game 7 of the West Semis by the Dallas Mavericks, despite initially holding a 3-2 lead. The subsequent season saw a deja vu scenario, with the Suns once again getting embarrassed on their home court, this time in Game 6 against the Denver Nuggets. This happened after an in-season trade for Kevin Durant and further bolstering their star power by acquiring Bradley Beal in the offseason, giving up any remaining draft capital they had. The Suns also parted ways with their starting point guard Chris Paul in a 3-team deal involving Damian Lillard being moved to Milwaukee. All these moves were made by a team that had transitioned from a lottery team post-bubble to NBA finalists the following season, and now they were going all in to secure their franchise's first title in 56 years. The Suns became the epitome of a super team, boasting one of the highest championship odds in the preseason and the highest payroll in the NBA. It was unequivocally championship or bust, especially with the narrow window to win a title due to Kevin Durant's mid-30s age. However, the current NBA season hasn't unfolded as expected for the Suns. Despite facing significant injuries, notably to Bradley Beal and Devin Booker, the team has looked far from championship caliber. Instead, they appear to be a mid-tier average team, lacking the prowess to contend for a title or even emerge from the highly competitive Western Conference, which features rising teams like the Timberwolves, Thunder, and the defending champion Denver Nuggets. While many may find the Phoenix Suns' early struggle surprising and express concerns about their ability to turn things around and secure home court advantage in the playoffs, it shouldn't be as shocking as it seems. The challenges and flaws of this team are quite straightforward, and we'll delve into them further in this video. If you're new to the channel and enjoy the content, please subscribe. Now, the common sentiment is that the Suns' lackluster performance is primarily due to injuries, and once they're healthy, they'll be one of the top teams in the NBA without a doubt. But I have a few thoughts on that. I've always been weary of the injury excuse because, while injuries are unfortunate, they are an inherent part of the game, impacting every team and every season. They disrupt the overall chemistry and cohesion of the roster. The Suns, missing Bradley Beal from their big three, have certainly faced challenges, but it's not like they've suffered a season-ending injury to Kevin Durant. Even though Devin Booker has missed some time, he's been available to play alongside Kevin Durant for the most part. With two superstars like Booker and Durant, the expectation is that the Suns should perform better, even in Beal's absence, as he is the third option. Beyond Beal, the team hasn't been plagued by numerous injuries. Considering Bradley Beal has only played in 6 games so far this season, should we really be surprised? Adrian Wojnarowski highlighted growing frustration in Phoenix, particularly from Kevin Durant, who, according to reports, feels the lack of support since Beal's injury. The Suns gave up a lot to acquire Beal, and time is running out. But let's take a step back. Does Kevin Durant need a reality check? He's arguably had the most support of any superstar in his NBA career, moving from team to team in ideal situations. But let's put that aside for now. What did the Suns expect from Bradley Beal? He's a player who, over the last 4 seasons, hasn't played more than 60 games in a year. In the last 2 seasons, he suffered significant injuries, causing him to miss the end of each season. Now, at 30 years old, Beal's been injury-prone since he was 26. Did you genuinely believe you were getting a prime Bradley Beal who could consistently drop 30 points per game and play every single night? The idea that Bradley Beal, given his injury history, could be relied upon for nightly performances seems unrealistic. I understand injuries can have a profound impact on a team's fate, and the course of NBA history might have been different without them affecting key players. However, the Suns trading numerous picks, including 6 second-round picks and several first-round pick swaps, for a 30-year-old Bradley Beal on a supermax contract with 4 years remaining, considering his injury history, raises questions. It appears to be a substantial gamble and a significant risk, especially after surrendering a considerable number of first-round picks for Kevin Durant, who is also under contract for the foreseeable future on a max deal. While injuries are unfortunate, expecting all players to be consistently healthy in today's NBA, especially when dealing with older players with a history of injuries, is not realistic. The Suns took a risk, and the reality is that injuries are part of the game. Beyond injuries, the Suns' mediocrity is also attributed to the construction of their roster. It's a top-heavy team with superstar talent but limited depth, boasting one of the NBA's weakest bench units. This raises questions about how they plan to fill out the rest of the roster, especially with 3 players account for a significant portion of the payroll. Despite the offensive firepower on paper with their big 3, the Suns' reality on the court is different. The team, in practice, doesn't align well with the modern NBA, which emphasizes high-paced, motion-oriented, and space-driven offenses. The Suns, at the time of this recording, rank 26th in the league in pace, 24th in three-point volume and rate, and have one of the highest times of possession. Their offensive style, characterized by isolation plays and ball dominance, contrasts with the current trends in the NBA, where a more dynamic, fast-paced style is favored. While Kevin Durant and Devin Booker share shot attempts well, the Suns' offensive structure doesn't fit seamlessly into the league's current landscape. Their overall ball movement and player motion are scarce compared to some of the best offensive teams in the NBA. Additionally, they have a high turnover rate, ranking 26th in turnover percentage and 23rd in turnovers per game, despite their veteran experience. What's intriguing is that the Suns heavily rely on getting to the foul line, which can be effective for generating offense, but it also slows down the pace of the game. This becomes problematic when they rank second to last in the NBA in overall field goal attempts. In today's NBA, struggling to get shot-ups due to slow ball movement can hinder consistent winning. Moreover, it's worth noting that the Suns are currently 15th in the league in offensive efficiency. While this is acceptable, it becomes more challenging when coupled with their defensive performance. They're not above average defensively, ranking 17th in the league in defensive rating and 16th in net rating. Essentially, they epitomize a mid-tier team in the NBA. Despite the season still being relatively early, around a third of the way through, the Suns find themselves below 500, sitting at 11th in the Western Conference standings. While some may argue it's early and they'll improve, the expectations were championship level, and being in this position is concerning. The playoff race is tight, with seeds 4 through 11 separated by only 3.5 games. But the Suns face a significant uphill battle, and their current standings suggest they need a substantial turnaround. It's essential to acknowledge that the Suns will likely make the playoffs, but merely making it falls short of their championship aspirations. Given their limited future draft capital and young players, making the playoffs only to face an early exit would be a considerable failure. The team invested heavily in this roster, pushing all their chips in, and the current construction doesn't seem capable of winning an NBA championship. Share your thoughts in the comments. If you like the video, please subscribe, and I'll see you in the next one.